Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
Over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about carbon in our environment. And one of the great things that we can do as farmers is store carbon in our soils. We're going to talk about how we do that during our Farm Basics time today.
When I think about carbon, I just remember as a little kid, when we first started learning about plants in school, they would say, breathe on the plant, and it's going to be good for the plant because the carbon dioxide that's coming out of your mouth is going to go right into that plant. It's going to be great, and the plant's going to give you back oxygen. And so to me, this has been basic for my whole life, that plants are the answer to carbon dioxide.
Yeah, so whether you believe in global warming or not, and whether you believe that we need to get rid of more carbon dioxide in the air or not, the fact of the matter is a lot of people do think this is a real issue. Well, with plants, as farmers, we just want to raise more yield. Well, that means more carbon dioxide is pulled into plants. So that's great. More oxygen is released into the air. But the question here is, well, how can we actually tie up, sequester, or store that carbon in our soil? The way we do it is by building soil organic matter.
Again, here's the great thing. So as that plant takes in the carbon dioxide and it gives back the oxygen, where does the carbon go? Well, a lot of that carbon, you think about that plant, there's half the plant above ground and half the plant below ground. If we can get a big root system underneath whatever crop we're growing out there, and we leave that root system to break down in the soil, we build organic matter levels up. That's one of the ways, anyway, that we can build organic matter levels up, is socking more carbon into the ground. It's a great thing.
Yep, so how do we build soil organic matter? We reduce tillage. We plant crops with lots of roots because organic matter builds with roots like Darren was talking about. We apply manure or compost. We use cover crops, and we use biological products. When we do that over time, we can build soil carbon, which is basically building soil organic matter. That's really good for the soil, makes the soil more healthy, more responsive. We get higher yields, our ground is worth more, so it's really a win-win deal. We're pulling more carbon dioxide out of the air, we're storing more carbon in the soil, and at the same time making our soil better.
And one of the great things that farmers have done is adapt to whatever situation is out there. So this idea of, hey, plants are the answer and we can build carbon in the soil. Well, the best way to do that is grow more plants, and grow plants as long as you can throughout the season. So in the northern United States, for example, farmers will plant as soon as the frost comes out of the ground, and they won't harvest until the frost is about starting to go back into the ground. So they're taking the whole season to raise a corn crop, for example. Now, in other parts of the country, they've got a longer growing season. They may be able to raise 2 crops during the year. And then there's a lot of in between where, you know what, I can't really raise a full crop, but I could put a cover crop out there. And so, like, for example, on our farm, we'll cut silage generally a month or 2 at least before we get that killing frost and just all the time frozen ground. So we'll use that extra month or 2 to grow a cover crop on our farm.
Okay, so once again, if we want to build carbon in the soil, all we do is raise more crop yield, number 1, and then we do everything we can to build soil organic matter, number 2. That will store the carbon in the soil and reduce carbon dioxide in the air.
Well, if we want to have great thick crops out in our fields, one of the tasks that farmers have to do is control weeds, like our Weed of the Week. Can you identify this week's weed?